All right, I think I should start now. Welcome everyone on board. I hope I am audible loud and clear to everyone. Amit, Krishna, Sanjay, Shiva, Suren. Welcome everyone on board. Good morning to my friends in USA. Good evening to my friends from India. Are we all set? Guys, you can share your thoughts over the chat window or maybe the question answer window you have. Are we good to take this forward now? All set, everyone? Yeah, fantastic. Thanks a lot, Krishna and Suren. I hope everyone knows for what purpose we are here for, right? We are all very clear with the agenda. So I would be getting this discussed in a moment. But just allow me. I just saw my WhatsApp is open, so I should close that right away. Here we go. All right. So without wasting much time, I will be just hitting the bullseye, getting you through the required idea. Let me spend another 30 seconds to walk you through with my profile, and then I will set up the agenda for the session today. So once again, welcome all my dear friends. My name is Ankur Agarwal, and I am a data scientist working as a manager in a leading MNC into the pharmaceutical analytics domain. I started my career in 2010. So as of now, you counted my experience as 11 plus years. Training is more like a hobby and a passion for me, and I have been exposed deliberately and extensively in this craft and trade for last 8 years. 10,000 plus trained professionals and 25,000 plus training hours. I got into the training. I got into the analytics first of all in late 2012 when I was working in USA with the investment banking client there. So SAS was the very first certification what I clarified. After getting back in India from 2014 onwards, I have been working interchangeably on R and Python. I would not be getting you through with the whole complete profile, which will unnecessarily take a lot of our time. What about the other guys? Surendra, can you hear me properly? Krishna, could you please check the audio settings at your end once again, because I believe from my side it is 100%. I don't find any reason not to get this audible. I can check the audio settings once again. Just give me a moment. Audio. I think I'm using the microphone correctly. All right, Surendra can hear it properly. So Krishna, I think it would be great if you can check it at your end, because technically if even a single person can hear me loud and clear, that means nothing is really wrong at my side. All right, my dear friends. So this is what my career and my quick profile is, both in terms of my corporate capabilities as well as my training capabilities. For past 7 or 8 years, I have been interchangeably getting the training being done on R and Python. So, I mean, I will not be discussing that very much in detail, taking much of your time. In case if you're interested to know more about this, you can pause your screen from the recorded session and can get through with all of these things and the areas and so on and so forth. So here we go. Without wasting much time, I will be setting up the agenda so that we can interestingly take this forward. Here we go. So I hope we are all very clear what all we are here for. Let me write that. I usually don't really follow any fancy slide deck or a PPT. That is what I have a reputation to go with, and I believe you guys will also love that. So whatever I generally speak, I keep on writing that stuff over the Excel file so that you guys can be interactive and focused on what we are all going through with. when I'm talking about the agenda for the session today, so there are a lot of various things into the different versions and the stories you might be having, each one of you with you. But yes, the core idea lies with the fundamentals of three basic things: what, why, and how data science. That's all. Not only with the keyword what I am going through with in the class today, as far as the data science understanding is concerned. Personally speaking, my dear friend, going down the line or my personal training style and methodology always focus on these three basic fundamental pillars of any single terminology, what we generally discuss. Be it data science or machine learning or any particular algorithm like linear regression, logistic regression, KNN, SVM, neural networks, NLP, artificial neural networks, or so on and so forth. If you are substantially having the answer of what, why, and how, I think we have a 360-degree coverage of what we are all going through with. Isn't it so? I hope you are getting me correct. Krishna, Surendra, Aman, and other friends, yeah? So here also, I will be getting it absolutely simple and easy for you to understand the idea of what, why, and how data science. Other than that, I will also be interested to share some very interesting things about the data science, like who all can be a data scientist, like the skills required for you to be a data scientist. Kindly ignore the typos, okay? Plus, take into the consideration like myths and truths. One more topic I would add about data science industry. If time will allow us versus data analysis. If further statistical model in learning versus learning is all about, and how it is going to be different than artificial intelligence. So you might have been hearing these keywords back and forth again and again in your regular professional or day in and day out job, right? So this is what all we are going to have in place. Let me see if I am not missing any particular thing. Yes, I think I have covered all of those areas, but practically this is what the things are, okay? You can somehow feel it like this as well. So this is what the basic idea is. If you guys want anything to be added into the list, kindly let me know. Once I'm done with the conversation, in the last 15 minutes of the session today, I will have all the doubts, questions, concerns about the data science, data analytics, data mining, or whatever you wanna interested or whatever you wanna know, I will be getting that discussed in detail. So feel free to share your thoughts. Kindly be a little bit interactive. More you guys will be interacting with me after the learning experience or the entire exercise, webinar, workshop we will be having. So here we go. Sanjay, Amit, I haven't seen any response from you. I hope you guys are there, fully attentive and focusing on what we're discussing. Am I correct? Shiva, Sanjay, Amit? All right. So let's keep it very simple. If I'm sure most of you might be looking to get enrolled for data science course. If you are asking what is data science, Ankur, I would be keeping it simple that you are planning to get enrolled with data science with Python. Well and good. But for a moment, let me make the things absolutely crystal clear for you. Though you are trying to get enrolled for anything related to the data science, be it any tool, like in our case, it is going to be Python, so much popular these days, just remove that for a moment. Just focus on data science. Why? Reason being, Python is just another software or a tool, just like the way we have SAS or R being so popular in the industry, be it yesterday or today, or going down the line, who knows, maybe some other softwares might be picking up or getting momentum, like Julia is also getting a lot of utilities and frequently used in the MNCs, or maybe anything else like mango, apple, banana. Yeah, it could have been anything. It could have been any name, right? It could be leopard or anything. Just on a very lighter note, I'm saying that. So you can have any name of the software going down the line or any type of software to be worked upon. Hence, these are the tools, softwares, programming languages, platforms, statistical platforms for you to be worked upon. When I say you have several alternatives, the idea is absolutely clear, my dear friends. This should have been considered as your destination. Data science is the primary objective and the goal, what we need to be all conceptualized and should be very much knowledgeable with, comfortable with and experienced with. Whatever it comes across to implement that, be it SAS or R or Python, these are just the different platforms which may come and go over the time. On a very lighter note, just like the boyfriends and our girlfriends in the life, right? And when I said these softwares can come and go over the time, so we need to really move on. Isn't it so, Surinder? Krishna, are you getting my point? So this is what something you should keep in your mind, that was Python would be just a programming platform. To bring this analogy further more clear to you, I would rather say that let us consider the whole journey more like you are getting started with a 42-kilometer marathon race. And when I say 42-kilometer marathon race, you are free to use any brand apparel, be it Adidas, Reebok, or Nike. Or the another example I could have taken is like, let us suppose you are learning how to drive a car. Okay, let's suppose the objective is to learn how to drive a car. And when I say how to learn drive a car, then in the typical Indian context, we have the several entry-level hatchback cars like Hyundai Santro, Hyundai i10, or Maruti Suzuki Alto K10, and so on and so forth. These are the regular brands. So one thing which I would like you to tell me, Sanjay, Mr. Vikram, Krishna, Shiva, Surendra, and my other friends, that let us assume, or maybe you might be having that, let's not assume that. So let us think or feel or hypothetically assume that after getting so much or making money from XYZ places, you are getting rich and now you are getting BMW or Mercedes. So you just need to tell me, do you really think that you need to get back to the car driving training school once again just now because you have a bigger luxury sedan class, a costly sedan car? Do you really think so that you need to get back to the training school once again just to learn how to drive a car? Absolutely no. I hope this makes sense. Sanjay, Shiva, Krishna. So hence, let me get back to the final idea. That whatever you are going through, going down the line, be it with me or with anyone else as your trainer, you should be focused more on the basic fundamentals, concepts, nitty-gritties, and the aspects of data science as a destination, whereas Python, R, SAS are the various programming languages, statistical platforms, or the tools which may come and go over the time. Who knows, tomorrow, 1 year or 10 years down the line, you may be having any new software going down the line. So we should not be getting emotionally connected or fixed with any of these programming platforms. The eventual goal should have been to get ourselves experience on data science as a whole. Cool. So you guys can share and interact with me over the chat window or maybe like the question window, what you are going through with Shiva and Surendra. Thank you. So this is one idea. Let me now get the discussion continued on what the data science is for you. I hope you guys must be having thousands of the things. Krishna, anyone is good to get started with. Okay, depends on the popularity. Like out of 10, 8 organizations are currently more or less using the Python until unless an organization is not having any research-based activity. So the idea comes literally from the way that you are free to use any of these brands. And when I say Adidas, Reebok, or Nike, needless to mention that we will definitely be having some sort of the advantages, disadvantages, pros and cons associated with them. Like Adidas shoes could be more comfortable, Reebok could be more durable, Nike could be more flexible, costlier, blah, 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 and so on. Hence, when I say Python, R, or SAS, different employees or employers, sorry, might be using the different platforms. But yes, majority of the organizational MNCs or the companies are running through with the Python, and that is also more like a cascading effect. When I say cascading effect, like as an example, more the institutes and the vendors are getting the offers being rolled out for data science with Python. Many of the courses are being running on Python, so Python is in demand. Organizations are working on that, so it's more like demand and supply basis. Okay, I hope this makes sense. So like I being a manager in my company, having a knowledge of Python, I would also prefer getting the projects being done on Python, and I will start hiring the folks only with Python because I personally know Python. Couple of the projects I already kickstarted is only on Python. So for what reason I should be going out of the way to get the things being done on R? No reason, right? So this is more like a cascading effect as well. Learners are getting trained on Python. They are getting the job on Python. Python is getting the Python being evolved further. That's all. Just like the way what we typically have in the share market on the ATMs, right? Simple. So if share is in demand, a lot of the people will start buying that. That will again rise the price. And when the prices are rising, then the people will again start buying the equities, right? Krishna, do you know that? All right. So I have a couple of queries from you guys. So let's do one thing. As I mentioned quickly, I will be more than happy. Trust me, guys, I will be more than happy to answer all your queries in a collective fashion. But let me get this covered in a moment so that we can have some substantial idea. And in the last 15 minutes, I can assure you that you would definitely be having all the answers with you. Otherwise, I will start answering all your individual queries, and it would be like a complete description of the agenda and the flow. So I will be not taking more than 15 minutes to get the entire conversation being holded up. Maybe like not more than 15 minutes, yeah. And then I will be directly getting back to your queries. Is that fine with you? Online folks, does that make sense? Cool. All right. Now, I will be getting started with a complete in and out understanding of what the data science is. And I would also appreciate and welcome you guys to share your thoughts in case if you know anything about the data science. I am sure you must have already at least Googled it out because you are planning to invest into that future. So I'm sure you must have at least bothered to Google it out. What is data science, right? What is data science for you? Anyone would like to share their thoughts? So if I will be just waiting for you to respond, it would be like gone with the 60 seconds or 100 seconds. So let me start with that. My dear friends, when I say data science, it is more like an umbrella terminology. When I say umbrella terminology, let me keep it very simple for you. That science of, kindly ignore the typo, there is a spelling mistake there. Let me correct that. Science of dealing with the data. That's all, full stop. Nothing more than that and nothing less than that is really required for me to explain the basic terminology, the definition of data science, necessary and sufficient condition. You know what you must have learned that in 11th standard. Simple. Let me extend this idea. Science of dealing with the data. If you will look into the definition, this just comprises of two basic keywords. One is the science and one is like dealing with the data. Let me now expand the keyword science more into the context of data. And then we all know what do you eventually do with the data, right? I'm sure many of you might have at least worked on a Microsoft Excel or SQL earlier. What do you mean by science? Collection of all the tools, techniques, or even tactics, methodologies, processes I can count, required to deal with the data. That's all. And when I say what do you do with the data, I think you all have your answers with you. Can you help me with certain keywords? What do you mean by dealing with the data? All sort of those activities, my dear friends, what you have been doing in Microsoft Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI, ClickView, ClickSense like, sampling the data. Manipulating the data. Manipulating means sorting, summarizing, filtering, binning, merging, appending, which is often being called as data wrangling. Munging, these are just the fancy keywords synonymous to manipulation itself. Transformation. Okay, visualization, visualizing the data. Or even you can think of modeling the data. Maybe reporting. Hence, all sort of those things what you have been doing in SQL or Excel, like sorting, filtering, merging, appending, this, and blah, 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 right? To sum up with this idea, what I want you to probably understand is that whatever you have in your mind, just leave it apart. Because when it comes to data science as a keyword, there are a lot of things. I will also be getting those concepts being clarified in the section of myths and truths. But let me be very clear. When I say data science, most of us believe that data science is something what we are actually doing that with SAS, R, or Python as a fundamental platforms and the tools. Dealing with the machine learning or predictive modeling, deep learning, artificial intelligence, or maybe Internet of the Things being getting momentum these days. Having extensive usage of neural networks, Keras, you might have heard of it, right? Or maybe TensorFlow, all such things like extensive libraries. Primarily dealing with structured and unstructured data. Structured data means tabular data, just like the way something you have in SQL or Oracle. And when I'm primarily talking about the unstructured data, that data which is like these days getting generated by the presence of the internet devices, Internet of the Things, wearable devices, social media platforms, like all the non-tabular data, like log data, image data, text data, video data, and so on and so forth. Audio data, video data. This is all being considered under the unstructured data. So big data is actually responsible for unstructured data, I would say, or unstructured, because of the evolution of the unstructured data. There is a concept of big data, and there we have big data is always synonymous to bad data as well, because there is a problem with the quality of the data as well, right? So we'll be discussing that in detail, not an issue for us for a moment. But let me get this idea being shared with you. So this is fine. This is actually the one side of your coin. When I say data science, my dear friend, I would also like you to understand that data science is not only and only about what you just have seen or highlighted into this. Maybe I can change the color. Not only the not only the one what you can see into the green color, but it has also been the thing what you have been doing till date in Microsoft Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI, ClickView, or ClickSense. Focusing on the structured tabular data, mainly responsible for MIS, Management Information System, reporting, or even dashboarding. Yeah, do you know what is MIS, online friends? Using the simple descriptive analysis. Yeah, when I say descriptive analysis, descriptive number crunching or data crunching, simply like what you have been doing in pivot table, right? Summarizing, aggregating, grouping, merging, finding the total count. How many students are there in this batch? How many of the students are male and how many of them are female? How the count is different. How many students are less and more, or more than the previous seminar or webinar? If I'm going all of these things being shared with you, depending on what the data I have already stored in my table, and I'm just getting the descriptive report being generated is what comes under the descriptive part. What we essentially do into the management information system reporting, and we typically do that with the flow of dashboarding. So long and short, the story what I want you to understand here is that boss, when I say data science, let it be very clear that data science, though seems something what we have been doing in a very high technical manner, what you can see and understand there, no, this is just one part of the section. When I say data science, this whole umbrella is data science, like this orange box as well as the green box. So this is also a part of your data science umbrella. Hence, lower side, you are dealing with Microsoft Excel. Higher side, you are dealing with There's our finder. This is what the basic outline is. Simple. Now, this is what the basic idea behind the data science. What the data science is, simply anything. Anything related to the data comes under the umbrella of data science. I would rather say data mining, data analysis. All of those terminologies is being considered and counted under the data science. Right now, let me ask you, why data science? Why you guys are planning to get enrolled in data science? Any idea? Why you are planning to waste your important 1 month, 2 month, 3 month of your life to unreasonably spend a lot of your time and money into this course? Any reason? Sanjay, Krishna, Shiva, Aman, anyone who would like to share their thoughts? Vikram, Mahendra. Hi, Charles. I think you have been there in my previous batches as well. Am I correct? Because your name seems very familiar to me. I'm not sure. Anyone who would like to share their thoughts why data science is important and needed into the industry, or what would be the future of this data science going down the line? No one? Data science is the future. Yes, that's correct. But why? Why data science is future? Why data science is having a better future? That's what the primary question is, right? Obviously, the way you might have heard that, right? That in every 2 years, the data set is the data we are getting generated is doubled, right? Be it with the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or wearable devices, Internet of the Things, the way the volume of the data is getting generated, maybe like YouTube or so on and so forth. Thousands of the things are there. Not only the social media, but the other places as well, right? You might have heard that at least, that in every 2 years, the data is getting doubled, right, Amit? Yes. So for that sake, be it whatever the reason is, my dear friend, the bottom line of every project, assignment, case study, or the business problem statement would be one thing, that you are using insights from the data. Okay. You are getting the insights from the data. Why you are getting the insights from the data? To get the meaningful insights, I would say. To get the meaningful insights from the data, be it whatever it is. Either it is descriptive or predictive or anything high-end, forecasting or whatever the branches are there. Okay. So at the end of the day, you are getting some insights from the data. Why you are getting the insights from the data? If you answer that, I think you have an answer with you, right? Why you are getting the insights? So that you can use those insights to get the competitive intelligence, to get the or to strengthen the decision making process. That's all, simple. Isn't it so? That's all. That's all, simple. Go on. Just pick up any of the business problem statement. You would, at the end of the day, find out only same reason. Only same reason, I would say. You're just investing your time, money, or the companies are investing so much into the data science team. It's just because they can get the insights from the data at the end of the day and can use those informations, insights, just to strengthen their decision making, be it for the HR management, admin management, to control the attrition ratio in an organization, or to engage the customers, doing the customer this segmentation, targeting, clustering. Just as an example, I'm telling to you, just as an example, okay, kindly find this reasonable, that Indian government is predicting that how many COVID patients will be there by the end of September 2021. So ideally, my dear friends, Narendra Modi and Amit Shah has really nothing to do with who is going to die or who is going to survive. Isn't it so, Amit? Until unless we are not a hardcore BJP fan, yeah. But yes, they are still trying to get these numbers, or IMA, Indian Medical Association, is trying to predict how many patients will be there by the end of September 2021. It's just because they want to better handle the infrastructure, healthcare infrastructure, doctors, nurses, resources, how many ventilators they need to have in place, how many vaccinations we need to have in place, right? Are you getting my point? Correct? So at the end of the day, whatever the exercises you are going to have, you will find the only same reason, that was you are using the data science just to strengthen the decision-making process. Hi, Mr. Vikram. As I discussed a couple of minutes before, let me extend this conversation for the another 8 minutes exactly. And the last 15 minutes of our conversation will be based on overall your own individual queries, and I will be better answer all of your queries. Would be more than happy to answer and handle all your doubts and the questions you have. Okay. So let us wait for another 7 to 8 minutes, and I will be wrapping up that with a few of the further points so as to get this covered. Vikram, can you hear me? Hi, Vikram, can you hear me? So yeah, let us wait for another 5 to 7 minutes or 7 to 8 minutes, and I will be definitely getting all the queries being answered. Otherwise, it would be complete disruption. Okay. If you can hear me, Vikram, then just be there with me, my dear friend. I will be answering all the queries, not only from your side, but whatever your fellow learners are having with me. Because the last 15 minutes will be purely for the Q&A session, as what the agenda I have already drafted out. I think you just joined us late today, I believe. Yeah, I could remember that. So we have a formal Q&A section. But let me get these 2 points being covered, okay? So for this to be supported, I will take a help for certain ideas. First of all, we need to understand the in and out of data science. And when it comes to the data science, there are certain myths. Myth number one, we always, or most of us believe and think that in order to get the meaningful insights from the data, we should have the big data or the larger volume of data. But my dear friend, big data comes with bad data. Quality of the data has always been a concern. Moreover, to handle a large volume of data, we need to have a lot of resources, time, effort, and processing memory, and so on. So hence, smaller data can also do the wonders for you. All right. Second point is important. What me and you guys would be interested to go with. So all those friends in this batch who are from the non-technical, non-programming background. Anyone who is from the non-technical, non-programming background in this batch? I have a gift for you, and you would be happy to take this up. That was, programming is not really which is mandatory or required on a hardcore basis. But your basic understanding of handling the data or knowing what the concepts related to the merging, appending, sorting, grouping are all there with the support of SQL and Excel is important to go with. Though in my Excel file, I have written that it is good to go with, but I would say it is important to go with. This is where I think you can get started with the data science journey. Because of the simple reason that was, most of us believe that the majority of the time will go into the model building or machine learning. No. Trust me, whatever you have been doing in your regular exercises of Microsoft Excel and SQL, like sorting, summarizing, filtering, binning, merging, appending, grouping, blah, 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 blah. All of those things, cleaning the data, like treating the missing values, outlier, which just require a basic descriptive understanding. It's really taking majority of your time. Hence, these two things comes very important. Am I clear? Majority of your time will really go into the cleaning, preparing, understanding, and transforming the data. And when I say transforming, you are literally going to have all of those things what you are generally applying there in SQL or in Excel operations. Trust me. This is the one fundamental idea. Another one for you is that let us try to understand what are all the skill sets you are required for you to be a data scientist. Okay, this is the final touch point I would like to cover in the next couple of minutes, and then I will be all yours. In order to be a better data scientist, or to be a data scientist at least, a data scientist is actually amalgamated flavor of all of these skills, mix and match. Not in a defined proportion, but a person who is a data scientist should be a mathematician, statistician. He should be having an analytical bent of mind. He should be having a little bit of programming skills or data handling skills at least. Having programming skills, fine to have it. He should be having a storytelling capabilities, visualization capabilities. He should be having a problem-solving approach. He should be a good communicator. But over and above all of these things, what important aspect is that, boss, you have to have a business knowledge. When I say domain, means business. Be it the pharmaceuticals, be it the healthcare, be it the insurance, be it the retail, manufacturing, FMCG, and so on and so forth, right? Because at the end of the day, what the purpose you are getting through is that you have some business problem statement that is pertaining to a particular domain. So a person who is more concerned with the business actually takes a lot of growth into the industry. Now, coming back to what you guys might be considered of, I can personally be, or you can personally be, not be an expert in all of those areas. So yes, I'm not asking you to be expert in mathematics or doing the PhD in mathematics. No, just the basic school level mathematics, like linear algebra, basic mathematics, like what is log, statistics, at least the basic, like what is mean, median, mode, probability theory, a little bit of 11th standard. Obviously, the common sense, a little bit of looping, conditional statements, a little bit of mix and match. And personally speaking, my dear friends, considering my experience and exposure into the data science world altogether, not only in India, but I have served there in USA for more than 2 years, yeah, and in European nations, Italy, Germany, I can assure you that domain understanding is important, which will take you a long way. I have literally my colleagues in many of the previous organizations or in the current organizations who are pharmacists, hardcore pharmacists. I have a couple of my friends who are AIMS doctors, all India medical doctors. They are doing the modeling, machine learning there on Python. Trust me, they are writing the codes. So I have lawyers, I have pharmacists, I have marketing guys, I have finance guys, I have HR, I have insurance team, I have even the doctors. So you can actually start from all of these things. Like when you will see my profile, I am graduate in statistics, mathematics, and computer science, and then I did master in computer application. So I am having a bit of the statistical understanding and programming. Then I learned the basic domains like the pharmacy, investment banking in my very first job, and currently healthcare insurance, and so on and so forth. So hence, long and short, you guys can get started from any of the point and later can acquire the rest of the other skills. And that is the reason data science is very open, wide, and very wider in horizon, because people from all walks of the life can come and can get themselves aligned with this, or can get in sync with the overall trade. That's all. Full stop from my side. All right, guys. Now I'm pretty much punctual now, you can see. So last 16 minutes for you, starting with you. Anyone who would like to get their queries being resolved or discussed can discuss that point with me. I would be happy to answer all your queries. Anyone? Amit, Krishna, Mr. Vikram, anyone, Shiva, feel free to share your doubts. Just put it there on the chat window and I that. Make sure that you're writing the complete query in a single go so that I can answer that substantially. All right, can you hear me? All right, sure. So let me stretch your queries for a moment. So, okay. Sorry for that. I think I somehow. Okay, yeah. Let me pick up the doubts. All right. So Shiva is asking, like, I would like to know how to become a data scientist and work as one. So Shiva, the process of getting into the data science trade and the field is very well structured, but you have to have a proper mentorship to be done, okay? Because data science is more like a journey, and getting along with that journey with a disciplined approach is very important. Reason being, there is not only Python there, there's nothing like machine learning only to be focused upon. You really have to get a long journey. And to hit the right points and the focus area is important. Like if you would be there as my candidate in my batch, rather than focusing much on Python and the integrations related to that, I would be putting more emphasis on the basic understanding of Microsoft Excel and SQL to start with. I would rather ask you to focus more on the concept of joins, merging, and other areas, because this comes as a major interview areas. So I believe in one thing, that if you have given the 10 hours to cut down a tree, I should spend 6 hours to sharpen my axe, or you should spend 6 hours to sharpen my axe. Have you heard that, Shiva, ever? Famous Abraham Lincoln quote? Same thing. So my personal approach is that you should be thoroughly and properly work with these fundamentals, with the right concept being clarified, and then be it Python or R, it could be extremely easy for you. Yes. And when I say basics, not about the programming skills. Programming is like syntactical in nature. But yes, if you know what the loops are, let me get it very simple. So let us suppose you are not from a technical programming background, you are always scared of, right? So I will make your life easy saying that, boss, but I usually go and play a role more like a coach rather than being a trainer. That is what I am having a reputation in the industry of training. I am the person who, rather than focusing more on the training, I just play a role more like a coach or a mentor. So I usually start my saying that, boss, the moment you will drop the thought that you are not coming from the so-called technical background or programming background, it will remove that thought from your mind. Right from that very same moment, you will start learning the things subconsciously and automatically. And that's a proven science phenomena, spiritual phenomena, right, Shiva? I'm repeating my statement once again. The only thing which is hurdling you now to get started with the data science or maybe with the Python is that you are somewhere having that thought and that apprehension that, was you are not from the technical background, not from the programming background, how you would be able to survive, whether you are investing your time or money would be justified or not. Trust me, the moment you will be getting started, things will automatically be getting work for you. You have to just get the ball being rolling on the floor. That's all. So I usually start with the common saying that, what is the fundamental idea of the joins merge? This is where I put a lot of my efforts. Or maybe like the example I was giving you, rather than telling you how the while loop and do loop works into the industry, let me make it simple for you, right? So when something is being repetitive in nature, obviously there has to be a mechanism with the program to get this done, or there has to be an automated job. And for that only reason, we have the loops, right? So I'm just giving you an example for that, so that maybe you can get an idea what I'm trying to convey. When something is iterative or repetitive in nature, has to be done, rather than writing the logic again and again at the same time, you have to have some mechanism to get that done with the programming capability, yes or no, Shiva? Like if you're a kindergarten teacher, you remember we must have done the KG, right? Kindergarten teacher says that write apple 20 times. If we would have known the concept of loop, right, in the kindergarten, we must have applied the loop there at that time itself, right? But we were not aware with the loop during that time, isn't it so? So now, because we know how the loop looks like or how that works or what exactly the loop is. So what is loop? Fundamentally, loop is something when you have something repetitive in nature, rather than getting the same job being done again and again and again and again manually, you should be writing a loop. And when I say fundamentally, let's forget about the Python or R code. I will be making it simple. Pause. For me personally, I start giving them a label that loops are of two types, range loops, because you know how many types of loop has to be executed. Like 1 to 10 times or 100 times, right? You know how many times you have to write an apple. So this is nothing but range loop. Range loop is what in Python you have for loop. That's all. Isn't it easy now? There are some conditional loops as well. Like a policeman will keep on torturing the culprit or the victim into the custody until he or she speaks the truth or reveal the scenario. Or maybe if someone, or if I am a bachelor, I will keep on saying I love you to a girl until she is not agreeing or taking a proposal in, right? So till or until the condition goes valid, the condition is satisfied, right? And for that we have while loop or do while or do until loop. Now the question comes, Ankur, you have told me all of these things, very well appreciated, but how these loops are going to work? Then trust me, my dear friends, everyone online there, that getting the syntax being known For all of these things is absolutely easy. I can also get a job being done. Google Baba is already there for you. Help windows are also there in your respective tools. Right? Stack Overflow, the online article and the forum would be there. So getting the answer is not a trouble. Syntax is not a trouble, but getting this idea in this manner is important. So that this is going to be lifelong learning for you, which is obviously going to be same either today, tomorrow, 10 years down the line. Either you guys are working on R or SAS or Python as of now. That's all. I hope this makes sense. Shiva? All right. I have a query now from Krishna earlier. I am from commerce, completed in 2015 with 3 class, no work experience. What do you mean by 3 class? Krishna, I can't really understand the middle point of your story. 2015 in 3 class. What do you mean by 3 class? I am just 3rd class. What do you mean by 3rd class then? All right. I think I don't have the. Nitish, can you allow me to be the host so that I can unmute my friends or maybe unmute all participants? Yeah. Shiva, you already started predicting the data, right? You would be definitely a good data scientist. Trust me, my dear friend. But let him speak. Hi, Krishna. Please welcome your query.
Yes, sir. I am from commerce background, BCom. My voice is sir.
Sorry, I lost your voice in the middle. Can you please come up again for me?
Yeah, I am from BCom, sir, commerce background. Completed in 2015. No work experience. I'm not doing any job, sir, presently.
Okay, I got your point.
Yeah, after completing, we are in our own business, not doing any job.
All right, I got your point.
Yeah, I heard that many of the big companies not prefer the candidates like work gap candidates. Is it true, sir?
And yeah, see, there are a lot of things personally considering your situation, Krishna. I would be very honest with you. I would not say that all the doors are closed for you or all the doors are open for you. No, things are not going to be in 0 and 1 for you for a moment. But what I can assure you is that in order to get into the data science industry, considering the fact that you would be working and starting more like a fresher, so things are very much positive for you. And considering the current situation, the recent economic trend into the industry and into the Indian economic context particularly, so you would be more a valuable and a relevant resource for the startup culture. But for that, you have to be more prepared. You have to put your weight on your profile more relevantly, right? Just get your profile being more heavy so that you can be shortlisted and can be worked upon. So yes, there are opportunities. There will be better opportunities in the near future. The market is very open these days. So I would not be saying that all the doors are open. Rather, I would not be even saying that all the doors are closed for you. But yes, you have to really go and have to be very disciplined, honest commitment and approach in terms of your learning. Once you're done with the learning, then you have to make sure that you have to come up with a proper profile building. You have to put the right projects or XYZ other thing, and then I don't find really that you won't be getting a job. You can definitely get a job sooner or later. That's all.
Okay, so
maybe like not in a month. You can take 1 month and 15 days. But again, at the end of the day, I think and I believe you would have something being done or achieved what you might have expected.
Okay, sir. If we put our 100% efforts in this course, can I get best job in best companies?
Yes, I believe yes. If you would be going with my recommendations, I believe yes.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. The work gap is not considered, sir. Last doubt, it is.
Which one?
Sorry. The work gap is not required.
Work gap, see, there are a lot of alternatives for that to be raised. You can say clearly in your interviews that you have been working with your family business. So you would definitely be considered as as a fresher there in the industry. Okay. So because of the fact that working with your father and with your brother or working in an industry, what you have as a family business, absolutely welcome. You actually have some sort of the understanding of the business at least, right? You are not sitting idle at your home.
Okay.
That's all. So you have to be confident with your approach. That's all. But yeah, that will only come when you are thoroughly and absolutely prepared with the basic knowledge and the understanding of data science as a whole?
Yes, sir. We definitely put our 100% efforts in this course, sir.
Yes, yes. I think you would be having a right idea. So
Yes.
I think you should be good to get started with this. Anyone
Yes.
else having any doubt with the things? Anyone which you would like to get the things being discussed? Anyone? Rajesh, Amit. Anyone? Sounds good. Sanjay, anything from your side? Sanjay, Krishna, Mahendran? No one? All right, guys. I think Nitish has to take care from. You have to continue from this point. Hi, Nitish. Can you? Are you there with me? I think Charles is there. May I know who is there from Intellipaat team now? My fellow colleague, Mr. Charles, will take on now from this point. Hi, Charles. Can you hear me? Charles, can you hear me? I think you can pick up from this point now. All right, just give me a moment, guys. Let me call my fellow colleague so that he can touch base with you.